Well, supernovas, how would a supernova fit into this picture? Now, of course, this is tremendous speculation, but in fact the whole of cosmology is tremendous speculation. So the supernova, before it explodes, is part of the universal balance of stresses in the universe. It is held as a unit by the force from the rest of the distributed matter in the universe. If in fact everything is getting further apart, the pressure on the most distant supernova, or to be a supernova, will be lessened, and the balance between the internal forces in the supernova and the external forces will be changed, and this makes possible an explosion, which we see dramatically. So what happens to the material when from the supernova when it explodes? You might say it reverts to an unstructured state. It reverts to what might be a primitive distribution of its matter. It reverts to energy, it reverts to protons and electrons and other particles which are distributed non-centrally. It ceased to have a center as an object. And this maybe starts one thinking about the early days of the universe, cosmological theory. Of course, we now have the ideas of the Big Bang. The Big Bang assumes that there was some uniform distribution of matter, whatever that might be, a plasma, or however it might be described. And that from this uniform distribution of matter, in some mysterious way, this matter aggregated itself eventually into stars and galaxies. It separated itself out. But under what force did... So how did this differentiation of the primitive state of matter come about? How did the aggregation occur? Now there are all sorts of rather vague theories about clumping of matter and so on. It seems that there must have been some necessary disuniformities in the distribution of this primitive account of matter, and that once a separation developed, then there would be the repulsive force of gravity at that time. Not date, it's a bit ridiculous to call it date. At that time, operating between separated aggregations of matter. Once you have one aggregation of matter, then the repulsive force of gravity would drive other matter in a non-uniform way, and so one would have the emergence of structure, the structure which we now see in terms of galaxies and stars. Well, no doubt all this seems extremely heterodox, extremely contrary to accepted opinion in cosmology and in theories about gravity. But something new must be found to explain the puzzles that remain in relation to gravity and the very fundamental difficulties that exist in physical theory in accommodating, as I said initially, gravity with quantum mechanics. all I'm asking is perhaps one might accept the possibility that our view of the apple falling to the ground is wrong. The apple is not falling, it is being pushed